What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to make a quick video updating the Combine winners and losers. As you guys all know, the Combine was this Saturday and this Sunday. Just want to talk some quarterbacks, some wide receivers, some running backs who outperformed, and some who ended up losing a little bit of their draft value. Before we get into it, though, if you guys could, go down, give this video a like. I'm answering every single comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn that notification bell on so you don't miss another video. But let's hop right into it. First guy I wanted to discuss, not exactly a Combine guy. Derek Carr, 11-year pro, reportedly agreeing to $150 million over the course of 4 years to play with the Saints. I think this is a pretty interesting deal. For one, the Saints did need a quarterback pretty direly. I mean, the combination of Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston, not exactly the greatest quarterback duo. And we saw that over this past year with the Saints going 7-10. But now they bring in Derek Carr, a guy who's at least a serviceable QB, I would say around an average quarterback in the NFL. And this decision looks very, very good for the Saints wide receivers. I mean, we got Chris Olave definitely getting a bump in value here. I like Rashid Shaheed as well, potentially getting a bump in value himself. Other than that, though, there really is no Saints wide receiver to write home about. Maybe we could see Juwan Johnson getting a bump in value as well. And potentially Taysom Hill. I don't really know how this is going to work with Taysom Hill. I don't know if Taysom Hill will be getting more or less touches. We shall see. But it's definitely a bump for all the receivers and Juwan Johnson for this offense. For the Raiders, on the other hand, I think this does definitely knock Josh Jacobs' value a fair amount, as well as Davante Adams, because the quarterback one for Las Vegas right now is Jarrett Stidham. So I think, this could be pretty scary for Davante Adams. I could see Davante Adams falling almost half a round at this point, honestly, going from a late first-round pick to a mid to late second-round pick. Because at this point, on Underdog Fantasy, I think I would prefer A.J. Brown over Davante Adams, definitely Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill as well. But once you start getting to Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think it will be a little bit closer. At that point, I probably would still prefer Davante. But when you're starting Jarrett Stidham going into the year, I think it is pretty risky to take a 31-year-old Davante Adams. They could go after someone in the draft. We shall see. But in the meantime, I think it does lower his draft stock, as well as Hunter Renfro's, Darren Waller's. Overall, just bad for the team. So the first quarterback I want to talk about is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson looked phenomenal at the Combine. He was graded as the most athletic quarterback of all time, ahead of the likes of Lamar Jackson, RG3, and the like. 6'4", 244 pounds. He looks to be a dominant big body quarterback, running a 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds, the fourth fastest time ever for a QB. This is just ridiculous speed, almost unheard of speed at the quarterback position. Although his collegiate career was full of ups and downs over the course of the season he played, still looks to benefit from the exposure he got from the NFL Combine, and honestly could end up being the first overall pick in this year's draft. The odds have moved heavily in his favor even before the Combine. Now it's just looking more and more likely. The next quarterback I want to talk about is C.J. Stroud, and C.J. Stroud, according to everyone who saw him, they were amazed. He looked surgical with his throws. The amount of accuracy he displayed was just way above any of the other quarterbacks. Not only that, C.J. Stroud had a smooth, calm demeanor throughout his entire time at the Combine, and I think that will excite some teams. The first wide receiver I want to talk about is Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and I've been really excited about Jaxon Smith-Njigba since he outperformed Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson on that Ohio State offense. Jaxon Smith-Njigba's ability just looks insane, and he displayed it today, primarily in the agility-based drills, where his 3-cone was 0.3 seconds better than any other wide receiver that ran the 3-cone in the Combine. And same thing with his 20-yard shuttle. It was actually the 4th best among wide receivers since 2007, and his 3-cone was 12th best. Well, he didn't run the 40-yard dash. His ability to change direction should make fantasy managers and NFL managers very excited. The second wide receiver I think showed out was Jalin Hyatt, although he was a little bit lighter than I expected at 176 pounds, despite being 6 foot tall. His 40-yard dash was 4.4 seconds. I was expecting a tiny bit faster, but even still, with that level of speed, you should be pretty happy. Also, his 11-foot 3-inch broad jump really just shows how explosive he is. As for the two running backs I want to talk about, it's no surprise. Bijan Robinson, the first running back, he is just absolutely incredible, running a 4.46 40-yard dash, which I think was a little bit faster than people were expecting. He looked very dominant at the Combine, and his RAS showed that, finishing with a 9.77, which means he's better than a vast majority of running backs athletically. And the other guy that impressed me was Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, we were a little nervous to see Jahmyr Gibbs' physical profile, whether or not he would have a BMI of 30, and well, he's not quite there, only with the BMI of 29.5. I still think you should be happy with the BMI like that. I mean, just barely under 30. We should expect to see him maybe bulk up just a tiny bit. He is 5'9", 199 pounds, which is fine. Maybe not a prototypical 3-down back, but we know he has the size to at least be a great receiving back in the NFL for years to come. As for the tight end position, I think there was really one tight end that stood out to me. That was Darnell Washington. He ran a 40-yard dish in 4.64 seconds, which is pretty fast for a tight end, especially a guy who's 264 pounds and 6'7". I think he could be an interesting pick as the first tight end off the board. We shall see. We shall see how the buzz goes on around these players. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, give this video a like. I'm answering every single comment. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on. As always, have a good day, a good night, and a good life.